The victim killed in a Fargo shooting early Saturday morning has now been identified. The Fargo Police Department says 25-year-old Halab Moses of Fargo was the victim in this weekend's homicide. FPD says the suspect, Tariq Taylor Roberts, who's up on your screen right now, and Halab Moses knew each other and had engaged in a verbal altercation prior to the shooting. Fargo PD also says Taylor Roberts admitted to being the shooter and then was arrested for murder. Police say the incident still remains under investigation. But Fargo Police Department is still trying to locate a potential suspect after a stabbing early Saturday morning. Fargo PD says they responded to the 3700 block of 18th Street South just before 5:30 a.m. for a report of a disturbance. That's when police arrived on scene, finding a man with a stab wound to the leg. FPD says they have identified a potential suspect and are working to locate them. As of right now, police say there's no threat to the public, but this is an ongoing investigation. A 36-year-old Bemidji man suspected of killing two people in separate shootings Wednesday in South Minneapolis has now been charged. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office says Joshua Anthony Jones is charged with second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder. He's also being investigated for another homicide. Documents say officers responded Wednesday afternoon to a report of a man shot in the head. Officers looked at surveillance footage, which clearly shows a man walking down the alley, pulling out a handgun, pointing it at the victim's head and shooting him. Jones was also involved in another shooting. Officers spoke with a man that had been shot in the shoulder. According to charges, Jones is in a criminal street gang in Minnesota called the Native Mob. He has also previously been convicted of multiple counts of assault. And a huge search for suspects is underway after a mass shooting outside a cigar lounge in Birmingham, Alabama. Police believe multiple shooters opened fire on Saturday night, killing at least 4 people and wounding 17 others. Police say multiple shooters targeted one of the 4 people killed, then fled in a vehicle. More than 100 shell casings were recovered from the scene, and police believe at least one weapon was outfitted with an illegal Glock switch. That allows a handgun to fire as a fully automatic weapon. Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin responded to the incident in a press conference this morning, asking the community to step up.
As a community, we cannot give safe harbor or shelter to people who want to just simply kill people. We can't give them cover. They should not feel safe in our community. They should not feel safe anywhere.
As of now, police say 11 of the injured have been released from the hospital and 5 are still getting treatment. The FBI and Crime Stoppers are each offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of a suspect. The Norman County Sheriff's Office is warning Hallstatt residents of multiple vehicles being tampered with and gas being stolen. The Sheriff's Office says they received multiple reports on Hallstatt's northwest corner. The Sheriff's Office says they're investigating and seeking home camera footage. That home camera footage between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. on Saturday, September 21st. If you have any information, they ask you to call 218-784-7114. 2 people were injured after a single vehicle rollover crash in Otter Tail County. According to Minnesota State Patrol, it happened yesterday just after noon when a vehicle went off the road and rolled into the ditch. 83-year-old Carol Spencer and 87-year-old Marlon Menzie suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Turning to the race to the White House, we're just 43 days until Election Day. Former President Donald Trump returns to the battleground state of Pennsylvania, while Vice President Kamala Harris spends the day in Washington with no campaign events scheduled. Erica Brown has the latest on the race, including the results from a new CBS News poll.
The latest nationwide CBS News poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris has edged up slightly over former President Donald Trump, though it's still anybody's race, as shown by the statistical tie in the key battleground states. Harris may be benefiting from a surging stock market and falling interest rates. She now trails Trump by just 6 points among voters who say the economy is a major factor. Back in August, those voters gave him a 13-point edge.
Join me on the debate stage. Let's have another debate. There's more to talk about.
On Sunday, Harris once again challenged Trump to a second debate, but with a month and a half left in the race, Trump insisted there's no time.
It's too late to do another. I'd love to in many ways, but it's too late.
Vice President Kamala Harris is spending the day here in Washington with plans to campaign in 3 battleground states later this week, while former President Donald Trump returns to Pennsylvania today. Over the weekend, Trump campaigned in Wilmington, North Carolina, where he did not mention the state's Republican candidate for governor, Mark Robinson. Robinson is engulfed in a scandal involving inflammatory comments he reportedly made on a porn site more than a decade ago. On Sunday night, his campaign announced several senior staff members have stepped down since the controversy broke, but Robinson has vowed to stay in the race. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Trump's running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, will be campaigning in North Carolina today. When asked about Robinson in an interview on Saturday, Vance said, quote, "I don't not believe him. I don't believe him," adding what the issue will play out in the court of public opinion. And the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota and Minnesota is in Washington, D.C. with jam-packed days to see the monuments built in their honor. This is the first time they're taking 2 planes, doubling the amount of veterans on this flight. With 215 veterans, the group is set to stop at the World War II Memorial, Vietnam Wall, Korean Memorial, and Arlington National Cemetery today. Valley News Team's Gabriel Osler is giving us an update on how today is going so far.
We're here in Washington, D.C. in front of the Vietnam Wall, and day 2 of the honor flight has been all about the memorials. In this specific area, there's also the Lincoln Memorial and the Korean Memorial right over there by the Capitol and the Washington Monument as well. This specific location, though, the Vietnam Wall, definitely elicited a lot of strong emotions from the veterans.
I'll never forget them, ever. I can still see their faces.
The day rolls on. We're headed off to Arlington National Cemetery for the changing of the guard, as well as the FDR Memorial later in the day. And make sure to stay tuned on Valley News Live for more of this touching story from the Vietnam Wall. Here in Washington, Gabriel Osler, Valley News Live.
Said you can hear more touching stories. They're going to be continuing to update us throughout the rest of the day. And you can find all of our honor flight stories on your free VNL News app. You can download and use it for free by searching VNL News in the App Store today. Coming up at noon, the only green dinosaur skeleton mount in the world will soon be on display at the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles. We'll share the details coming up. But next, Joseph has weather to plan your Monday. Stick around.